What do we make s'mores without?
Fire.
Ah.
I mean, campfire. Yeah.
You did bring some fire today. What's up, guys? It's Kat and Dev from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to another vegan recipe, and we're doing another summer tradition here in the TMG kitchen. What dessert do we make every summer, Catherine?
S'mores.
'Cause duh. And what do we make s'mores without?
Fire.
Ah.
I mean, campfire. Yeah.
You did bring some fire today.
We make s'mores without a campfire, like an open flame, open uncontrollable flame.
Yes.
So we decided, I went back and forth so many times on this recipe, but we made s'mores brownies.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
They're right here.
Right in front of us.
It's like, wait. Oh.
So good.
Oh.
Okay, so we should just show you how to make them. No, we can't bother them talking about it.
Let's just go. Just go. Get out of here. Go talk to Catherine.
What are you still doing here? To make our s'mores brownies, we are going to start by preheating the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we are going to make our graham cracker crust. To do that, we are going to combine graham cracker crumbs. We just got ours at Bulk Barn here in Canada because they happen to be vegan. We're going to combine that with some white sugar as well as some melted butter and mix that until it looks like wet sand. Then we are going to lightly grease a loaf pan just all over. This is going to help the parchment paper that we are going to line it with really stick to the sides so that we get a nice flat brownie. Then we are going to cut some parchment paper and line both sides of it so that it doesn't stick and it's easy to pull out of the pan once it's done. And then we're going to put that graham cracker mixture into the loaf pan and using a spoon or an offset spatula, just kind of really pack it down as flat as you can get it and then set that aside. Next up, we're going to make our brownie batter. To do that, we are going to melt on a double broiler some chocolate chips as well as some vegan butter. Once you start seeing just a few more chunks of chocolate and butter left, remove it from the heat and just continually stir it. The heat from the rest of the chocolate and the butter will melt the rest. And then you just set that aside to cool. In a small bowl, you're going to combine the flour, cacao, and salt and set that aside. Then to a stand mixer, we're going to add aquafaba and brown sugar and white sugar to a bowl and set that on low and beat the aquafaba until it starts to get a little foamy. Then you're going to gradually turn it up to medium and then to high. You want to beat that until everything is creamed together and it's nice and fluffy looking. It almost looks a little thick, like it kind of looks like a thicker cream type consistency. It's about 4 times the volume as it was when it was just the aquafaba liquid. Then we're going to bring the speed of the stand mixer to a low to medium speed and slowly drizzle in that melted chocolate. Once that's nice and incorporated, we're going to slowly add in our dry mixture until that is all incorporated. Before you add in the dry mixture, be sure to change the paddle of the stand mixer from the whisk to the beater. Once that's all combined, we are going to pour the brownie mix onto the graham cracker base and then pop that in an oven to bake for about 35 minutes. Each oven's going to be different, so watch it carefully. We still want these brownies to be slightly undercooked because that's going to give it its nice ooey gooey center. Once that's baked, you're going to remove it from the oven and set it aside to cool in the pan for about 15-ish minutes. Once it's set and cooled, you can remove it from the pan, remove the parchment paper from under it, and leave it on a wire rack to cool completely. While that's cooling, you can make the marshmallow fluff. To do that, you're going to add some aquafaba, maple syrup, xanthan gum, and vanilla extract to a stand mixer and start on low and beat it until it's nice and foamy, then gradually increase it to medium and high, just like we did the aquafaba in the brownie recipe, except this time you're going to beat it until you get a nice meringue-like consistency. You want it to be stiff peaks. What that means is when you remove the whisk, there'll be a peak created. If that peak stays intact and doesn't fall over, that is stiff peaks. It might take a while, so if it looks like your aquafaba is not doing anything after a couple minutes, that's completely normal. It might take a good 10 to 15 minutes until it gets to that stiff peak consistency. Finally, once the brownies have cooled, you just spoon on the marshmallow fluff. What I like to do is create as much creases and like peaks as I can, because when you toast it, that part is going to get nice and caramelized and still leave some dimension and color on the top. And to torch it, we just use a kitchen torch, but if you don't have one of those, you can also throw it in the oven on broil. Watch it very carefully. It should only take a minute or two. You just want the top to get nice and toasted. And then just store this on the kitchen counter in a sealed container until they're all gone, which shouldn't take too long. And optionally, you can top it with some chopped chocolate or a chocolate drizzle, maybe some graham cracker crumbs if you'd like to.
Okay, moment of truth. I haven't tried them at all. I didn't try them off camera this time.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Dev.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I love them so much.
It's so fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
And chocolatey.
Mm-hmm. The brownie is like the fudgiest brownie ever.
It's like there's a cloud in my mouth.
I don't even want to talk.
Oh, so chocolatey and gooey.
Mm-hmm. I feel like normally brownies are like too heavy for me, but because it has the meringue on top, it's like deceivingly light.
It almost feels like soap. Oh jeez, I'm about to lose my brownie. It feels so fancy that I don't even feel like I'm eating a s'more right now. But it's all the s'more flavors. I'm having troubles.
Oh, I thought that was gonna fall.
It is.
It's one of my favorite s'more recipes we've ever made.
Ever?
Well, I mean, we only made like 4.
That's a lot. That's a lot of different ways to make s'mores.
We did s'mores nachos.
And the bars.
And the bars.
What did we make?
Cookies! Oh my god!
How do we... Oh, the s'mores
I used to make those like once a week. That's hard to top, actually.
Even the bars are really good, too.
Mm-hmm.
But these are good, too.
S'mores are just like really good. What should we s'morify next?
If you want to see those other recipes, they're linked in the corner right now. Go make all of them. Just have like a s'mores buffet.
S'mores mukbang.
Oh my god, we'd get so hyper.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna get hyper just from this. Mm-hmm. Tune into the podcast because that's where you hear the results.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of like feel so fancy, but they're not really. But they're not fancy at all. It's just brownie on top of a graham cracker, basically.
It's great. They
It's
look
so
fancy
good.
without being too fancy.
Yes.
That's what I'm all about. Barely looking fancy, but you know.
Yeah. Sorry. Did we ever actually fully talk about the maple ebook on the YouTube channel?
Not on the tube.
Should we like talk about it?
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Randomly. I don't know at what point we'll be at with this.
But we've started now. We can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we're making an e-cookbook.
Yeah, it's completely maple themed because if you didn't know, we're Canadian. We also love maple syrup.
We're two maple girls.
We're very stereotypical Canadians.
Sorry, eh?
So we're doing a cookbook all about different ways to use maple syrup in breakfast and appetizers and mains and desserts, of course.
All the maple things.
Yeah, so everything contains some form of maple syrup, whether it's maple syrup itself or maple sugar and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so exciting. Guys, the recipes are shaping up. There's this maple curry pasta that is ridiculously good.
But we aren't just like releasing it willy-nilly.
Yeah. We're waiting until we get to 10K, which I don't know if we'll be at this point. Who knows?
So.
I hope at this point. If it's a 10K at this point, hopefully it probably won't be out.
That's crazy if we hit 10. We're not going to hit 10K.
Because this is a July video.
Yeah, no, it's not happening yet. But when we hit 10K, our maple e-cookbook will...
Around 10K, depending on where we are in the process, but our goal is for at the 10K point to release the cookbook.
How's that sound?
So yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and share videos so we can get more subscribers so you can get the cookbook quicker.
Let's do this.
Give us enough time. So yeah, those are things going on. We have merch, if you guys didn't know.
In the description box, you'll find a link to our merch. You'll find a link to our podcast. You'll find a link to this recipe. Anyways.
So let us know what we should s'moreify next, and then stay tuned for more delicious recipes.
Hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if there's never too many s'mores in your summer. Did you hear that? Not
Your
enough.
stomach said, yeah.
my stomach just...
Your stomach's like,
Gave a
yeah,
thumbs
exactly,
up.
Devin, keep eating.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Get weird, and these are just regular brownies, I swear.
Okay, Hutch. Quiet on set.
You've been pretty loud so far, so please tone it down.
No!